Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of math section from SAT Practice Test 2. I scored perfectly on SAT math section, and as I go through these questions, I'll show you the most efficient way to answer each and every question. Additionally, I'll give you tips and tactics you will need to know before taking the SAT math section. If you want to support my hard work, like and subscribe. And now let's get started with the first question. Okay, so we're starting from question 16 today. This will be the part 2 of this mod 1 SAT practice test 2. So let's start with the question number 16. The function f of w equals to 6w squared gives the area of a rectangle in square feet if its width is w feet and its length is 6 times its width. Which of the following is the best interpretation of f of 14 equals 1176? So we have a function of f of w which equals to 6w squared. And the question says that this gives the area of a rectangle in square feet if its width is w. So we're saying that our width is equaling to w, width equals to w, and this will be our area function. So let's just look to the answer choices and find our correct answer. If the width of the rectangle is 14 feet, the area of the rectangle is 1176 feet square. This is correct because it's saying the width and we're finding the area, and these numbers aren't wrong either. So this might be the correct answer. But just make sure to check the other questions answers if you have time. It will be very helpful. If the width of the rectangle is 1450, then the length of the rectangle is this. This is wrong because this is not the length. If the width of the rectangle is 101,076 is wrong. It's actually 14. And it's still doing the same mistake. So our answer choice is going to be A. Question number 17. The circle shown has center O, circumference 144 pi, and diameters pi r and qs. The length of arc PS is twice the length of arc PQ. Let's just write that down. This is going to be, let's call it x, 2x, and pi PQ is going to be x, since it's the twice of this. What is, by the way, you can just name whatever variable you want. If you want, you can put A, B, whatever you want. I usually like x's, so that's why I just use x. What is the length of arc QR? So it's asking us the length of QR, which is this side. So here is important information about circles. If I have a arc of PS, which is equaling to 2x, I will have a degree of 2x. Also, if this is equal to x, I will have a degree of x. And notice that there is a straight line. So 3x, I mean like 2x plus x, which is 3x, is equal to 180. Therefore, x should be 60. So we basically know that our x is 60 degrees. And also our circumference is 144 pi. So what's the circumference formula for a circle? It's 2 times pi times r. So our circumference is 144 pi, and just get rid of this pi's and divide this by 2. Our r is going to be equal to 72. So now we have our degrees and we have our radius. So what we got to find is the arc QR. So since this is opposite to each other, this angles, we know that this has to be equal to each other. Therefore, this is going to be 2x, and our this should be RQ should be also equal to 2x. However, we know that x is equal to 60, so we have another formula, 60. So if our angle is 2 times x, it's going to be 120 degrees. So we're just going to do 2 times pi times r. times 160 divided by 360, which is the complete circle's degrees. So this is going to be end up 1/3, and 2 pi r, which is our circle's circumference, is already 144 pi divided by 3, and you end up with 48 pi. A company that provides whale-watching tours takes a group of 21 people at a time. The company's revenue is $80 per adult. $80 per adult. I'm going to say A per adult, and $60 per child, plus 60. C. If the company's revenue for one group consisting of adults and children was $1,440, so it's equal to this. How many people in the group were children? So if we want the children, basically it says there's 21 people. So we have adults and children. So A plus C is going to be equal to 21. So we have two equations which we have to solve for. So since it's asking for the children, we're going to say A is equal to 21 minus C. I subtracted C from both sides from this equation. And after that, we just plug this wherever we see A, because there's two variables in this equation and we can solve a two variable equation. Therefore, it's going to be 80 times 21 minus C plus 60. C is equal to 1,000, this number, 1,440. So let's just grab our calculator and find this out. 80 times 21, I'm just distributing this inside. It's 1,680 minus it's 80C. 80C plus 60C equals to this. So this basically negative 80C plus 60C is going to be negative 20C. So 1,080 minus 20C is equal to 1,440. And after that, sorry, we're going to solve for C. Let's just subtract 1,680 from both sides, and we're going to end up with 20C equals to, let's just do that, 1,680 minus 1,440. It's going to be negative 240. Because I subtracted this number from both sides, the calculator, I did the opposite and multiply with -1. So 20C is equal to 240. C is equal to 12. So there are 12 children in this thing. Question number 19. The function h is defined by h of x equals to 4x plus 28. The graph of y equals h of x in the xy plane has an x-intercept at a and 0, and a y-intercept at O to B, where A and B are constants. What is the value of A plus B? This is a very simple question. So we basically have our function, which is h of x equals to 4x plus 28. And there is an x-intercept at A to 0. So if we have an a-intercept, first of all, in parentheses, we write our values like this. This is going to be our x value, and this is going to be our y value. And then if it's saying our x is a and our y is 0, we just can say 0 equals to 4a plus 28. We're just plugging the values inside. So 28. So let's just subtract 28 from both sides. 28 equals to 4a. Let's just divide both sides with 4, and we end up with -7 equals to a. This is our first number, which is a, yeah. And the question is asking a plus b. Now let's solve for b. Its x is 0, and we don't know the b, so we're just gonna plug 0 inside there, and 4 times 0 plus 28 is equal to our b. So 4 times 0 is 0, so 28 is equal to our b. So 28 plus -7 is going to be equal to 21. Answer choice A. Yeah, here's it. non-multiple choice question. Here's a question. So one of the factors of this gigantic expression is x plus b, where b is a positive constant. What is the smallest possible value of b? Very nice. So first of all, I noticed that every coefficient of x can be divided by 2. So I'm going to pull out a 2, but also there is also an x component in every element of this gigantic fraction. So I just can pull an x2. So if I just distribute this inside, I'm going to end up with x squared plus 21x plus 104. Okay, so if I want to just factor this in a piece inside, I just can do 13 times 8, yeah, 8x, and then we can just write this as x plus 13 times x plus 8 times 2x. And what is the smallest value of b? If I write it as x plus b, my smallest value will be 8, because over here we have x plus 8, x plus 13, and 2x, and it's going to be x plus 8. In the given system of equations, a is a positive constant. The system has exactly one distinct real solution. This is the crucial information in this question. If you skip this part, you're literally not able to solve this question. You're not gonna be able to solve it. What is the value of a? So if a system has exactly one distinct real solution, what we can say is this y equals to x squared plus 8x plus a. This is actually a square of something. So that's why we have one distinct real solutions, because in a graph like this is a polynomial, we will have one solution for a specific x and y plot. But other solutions, like over here, we can also have over here, which makes it like a polynomial. There are multiple solutions, but for this point, this is the only point you will not have more than one solution. So we're gonna try to convert this to a square, and then we're gonna solve our question. So y is equal to x squared plus 8x plus a. Also, y is equal to negative 1.5, negative 1.5. So let's just use it. X squared plus 8x plus a, and I'm gonna add 1.5 to both sides, plus 1.5 is equal to 0. So what do we do now? First of all, as I said, this is going to be a complete square. So if this is going to be a complete square and I have 8x and x squared in my expression, this is actually going to be x plus 4 square, because x squared plus 8x plus 16, I get the same pattern over here. So the question is actually giving me that hint. So if so therefore I'm actually using this 8 squared plus 8x plus 16, and since they are the same, let's just make it equal, plus 8x plus a plus 1.5. Therefore, I just cancel out this x squared and 8x's, and then 16 has to be equal to a plus 1.5. Therefore, if I subtract 1.5 from both sides, I'm going to end up with 14.5. My answer choice for a equals to a. Alrighty. The function is given which table of values represents y equals fx minus 3. I notice in the answer choices that they're using the zeros of this function, right? They're using the zeros. If we plug negative 6 as x, I'm going to end up with 0 times negative 1 times negative 10. This is going to be 10. 10 times 0 is 0. So whatever I plug as a 0, I should get 0 for f of x. However, the question is saying that y is equal to f of x minus 3. Therefore, if I plug the zeros of the function, which is -6, -5, and 4, I will end up getting -3s, because when I plug these values, I will get 0. However, the other y is f of x minus 3. So I'm going to do 0 minus 3 is going to be equal to my y, and therefore my answer choice has to be B. For the function q, the value q of x decreases by 45% for every increase in the value of x by 1. If q of 0 equals to 14, which equation defines q? So actually, this is a very simple question. Even though if you didn't understand any part of it, you just can plug 0 into the answer choice and solve for the question. Confirm that if it's equal to 14, it might be a correct answer. So you just can eliminate some answers, which will be very helpful for us. So if I plug 0 to here, it's going to be 14 over 0, which is 1, times 0.55, and my answer is going to be 0.55. I don't want that. This is going to be 1.45, and these are going to be 14. All right, so for the function, now we have to read and understand the question. For the function q, the value of q of x decreases by 45%. If I have 100% of q, which is 1q, and I decrease it by 45%, I'm actually having the 55% of that q. 55% of that q. Therefore, this answer choice D is actually increasing the function. However, we don't want to increase because we want to decrease the function by 45% in every increase of x. Okay, so therefore our answer choice is going to be equal to C. Now, the graph of y is this. The graph of y equals to fx plus 14. Make sure you don't miss this. The question is asking for which equation defines function f. So they're actually saying that there is a graph called y, and this is actually equal to f of x plus 14. So what is f of x? So basically subtract this graph 14 from this graph, or add 14 to every answer choice to make sure you're doing things right. So I don't want to just draw another graph and subtract 14 from this, so I just wanted to add 14. So I'm gonna add 14 to answer choices and just control them which one is right. You don't need to use answer choices. You just can draw your own graph, but I don't want to waste a lot of time here. So let's just start question answer A. A is actually equal to 1 over 4 x plus 2. B is equal to -1/4 x plus 1430. C is equal to -1/4 x plus 16, and D is equal to -1/4 x plus 0, -1/4. All right, so when I plug 0 to my x, which I'm trying to find my y-intercept, which is 2, what am I going to end up with? I should end up with 2. So let's just try them out. X is equal to 0. When I say x is equal to 0, this term cancels out and I get 2. Over here, I get 30. Over here, I get 16. Over here, I get 0. So therefore, my answer choice has to be A. If I got something else with 2, I would check my x-intercept, and I would plug 0. I would plug actually 8 as my x value, and I would end up with 0. Let's just to make sure you can just try it out. 8 times -1/4 plus 2. This will be equal to 0, which is also addressed on my graph. All right. Question number 25. The side lengths of right triangle RST are given. Okay, let's just write right triangle. TR is going to be my hypotenuse because it has the greatest amount of length. And let's just say S, and ST is equal to 48, RS is 20, and TR is 52. Where S corresponds with, so there is a similar triangle called UVW. Okay, let's draw a similar triangle, but I don't know where UVW is. It's gonna say where S corresponds with to V. So it's S is over here. If it's corresponding to V, my V is going to be here, and T, which is here, corresponds with W. Okay, and now my other only unknown was U. Okay, so the question is asking what is the value of tangent of W? So they're asking me the tangent of W. First of all, my friends, you have to know that if this is a similar triangle, we have the same degrees. Okay, so I'm gonna say, let's say this A, B, and 90 degrees. This has to be A, B, and 90 degrees. And tangent, if I use a tangent, I don't need this triangle. I need this triangle. So actually, they're asking me the tangent of A because it's asking me tangent of W, which is over here, but actually this is the same tangent of this. Okay, so I'm gonna say tangent of A, but it's also tangent of T, whatever you want to call it. What is the value of tangent of W? So it's basically going to be 20 divided by 48. 20 divided by 48, and that'll be equal to 5 over 12. Okay, these are the last questions, the last two questions. Question number 26. 1 gallon of paint will cover 220 square feet of surface. A room has a total of wall area of W square feet, which equation represents the total amount of paint P in gallons needed to paint the walls of the room twice. So if 1 gallon covers up 220 square feet of surface, and I have W square feet of surface, what is the amount of gallon which I need to use for my surface area? So basically in this setup which I created, we're just cross multiplying it, and W equals 2 x times 220. If I want to solve for x, which I do, I'm going to divide both sides with 220. W divided by 220 equals to x. Therefore, I need this much amount of gallon of paint for my wall. However, it says that the walls will be painted twice. Therefore, I'm gonna multiply this by 2. W divided by 220 times 2 is going to be equal to W over 110, which is answer choice A. Last but not least, question number 27. The number A is 110% greater than the number B. The number B is 90% less than 47. What is the value of A? So A is equal to 110% greater than the number B. So I should say 1 plus 110 divided by 100. The reason why I wrote the fraction 110 divided by 100 is because 110% is actually 110 divided by 100. If you say 50%, we're going to say 50 divided by 100. Whatever you use for a percentage, you're actually dividing it with 100. Make sure you know this in the SAT. So this is greater than the number B. So let's just multiply it with B. This is our first equation. And the number B, I'm sorry, is 90% less than 47. Therefore, actually, this is saying that it's 0.1 times 47. Therefore, my B is going to be equal to 4.7. And when I plug B over here, 4.7 times, this is end up going to be 2.1, and this is going to be my answer choice A. Let me just grab my calculator and see. 4.7 times 2.1. Yeah, my answer is going to be equal to 9.87. All right, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed and liked my video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. Have a good one. See you later.